Oh god. The chickens went to chaos because they just read this article. I got nothing, just need to think.
How Resident Evil VII is molded by the hateful, terrified world of Trump and Brexit.
Because everything that I don't like is Trump and Brexit, and therefore a Nazi, and therefore punch them, and therefore a bunch of chickens running in the background. By that logic, we should punch everything that we don't like. Well, I don't like this article that you write, Mr. Edward Smith, and I don't like you. Does that give me the right to punch you? No, of course not. Not that I want to anyway. The only thing that I want to punch after all of this is a freaking wall. At least they give me challenge.
As Maddy Myers observed in a fantastic essay...
Wait. Maddy Myers. As in the double standard chick from the Mary Sue. As in the chick who cried in the kitchen because of lack of gay characters. No, seriously, the chick actually cried on the kitchen on that. I made an entire video on it. It was just hilarious. Surprisingly enough, the article being linked in this thing was... well...
One of the game's main villain, Oswald E. Spencer, the owner of the evil residence in question, is an elderly man who has funded his company's hubristic descent into extreme body modification. If anything, the game has a liberal, almost socialist message, given that its two heroes are classic proletariat types.
You know, you guys hear the chickens running on there in the background? Yeah, I think I can hear the sound of the writer's brain right here working.
Wesker's ethos of complete uncaring about others and his determination to be the most powerful person in the world mirrors the ethos of many current-day video game protagonists.
I really don't know what you're talking about. Your brain's gone cuckoo. Can we just continue before my head explodes?
As Maddy Myers observed in a fantastic essay for Paste magazine, the original Resident Evil game played capriciously with the 90s zeitgeist. If you were alive and had newspaper delivered to your door each morning in 1996, it's likely that you were afraid of science and infection.
Can 90s kid actually comment on this? Because I was born in 1998 and my brains only functioned well yesterday.
As the Human Genome Project neared completion, it threatened to dispose of our comforting superstitions about what constituted self. Mad cow disease would kill anyone who dared enjoy a burger, and with Dolly the sheep, man had beaten God at his own game. For what impossible thing would we reach next?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can hear your brains going cuckoo in the distance.
Later, Resident Evil games also attempted to riff on contemporary fears. The villains plot in Resident Evil 4 to infect the American president's daughter with their mind-controlling parasite and use her to overtake the White House from within had echoes of conspiracy theories popular in the US after 9/11.
Yes, it does, the same way Deus Ex echoes popular conspiracy theories of its time. In my last video, people pointed out to me that Orwell's work, like Animal Farm in 1984, are good examples of stories with fictional elements that have contemporary politics that are almost parallel within the story. Well, I don't disagree, it's just that I see Animal Farm and 1984 as stories of their own, and not an allegory or parallel into whatever is happening during the writing of the story. It can be interpreted as such, but I personally see it as just their own stories. Shin Moneta can still work on its own story as well without referencing contemporary censorship culture. Deus Ex and Resident Evil 4 can stand on their own stories without the needs of allegories towards something. The stories might be built based on allegories, and in some ways you can interpret it that way, but the moment where you make it way too obvious, like this, that's the moment where I know that you're not even trying.
In Resident Evil VI, rogue states, private military firms, and terrorist cells seek to use bioweapons to destroy the world. The 2012 attacks against diplomatic missions in Benghazi and the Mayans' prophesized apocalypse led credence to that game's otherwise spectacular horror.
Resident Evil 6. Spectacular horror. Sorry. No. Just no. And that's just pure coincidence. You'll see more convincing parallels in Mass Effect 3, which was also released in 2012 and also about world-ending threats and also about a huge war.
As of 2017, our collective fears have drawn inwards, rather than shady corporations operating who knows where, or despotic foreign powers. Our minds are occupied by the increasingly rapid dismantling of familiar political ways. Systems we previously regarded as stable, law, union, healthcare, are being transformed and destroyed on almost daily basis. Institutions that once seemed sacred and untouchable by a mere government are being undone.
Yeah, who are the ones doing all of that again?
Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
So we're doing it non-violently, but I think that's a very rare thing indeed, so thank you.
Are you surprised, ma'am?
Back off! Leave him alone. Mark, just stand there.
Hence the Baker family in Resident Evil VII. If what we fear now is an unraveling of customs, a dissolution of social accord, it seems appropriate that the villains of Resident Evil VII are a mutated American family. The pictures on their walls show them previously happy, tranquil together, but as of summer of 2017, when the game is set, they are pale and grotesque versions of their former selves, a broken institution literally taking pieces out of one another.
If I were to be honest, I would draw parallels of the Baker family to the mainstream media and the triggered snowflakes. They mask themselves into this charade of peace and tolerance until they're finally up in arms, going to the streets, committing UC Berkeley protests and destroying garbage bins because, I don't know, they're oppressing them.
Oh, no. Oh, we should film it.
Thankfully, I'm not Matthew Patrick. I see Resident Evil 7 as just a story of its own. I mean, if there's something wrong with seeing stories as just what they are instead of something else entirely, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't see stories as something else entirely, I'm saying that if you can't make your allegories or parallels convincing, you probably shouldn't shove it down to something that it clearly isn't. Don't get me wrong, I did the Shimoneta review drawing parallels of the censorship in the anime and real-life censorship, but that's because Shimoneta is about censorship. The parallels are going to be obvious. Silent Hill 2 is about a guy who looks out for his wife thanks to a message that she sent to him in a place where lots of horrible things happen, including monsters and weird people. How can you pull off that sort of parallel into modern political climates of today? Wait, did I get the game mixed up?
When Jack, patriarch of the Baker family, appears to us in a hallucination as his previous well self, he is repentant. I ain't a murderer, son. Something made him, his wife, his son, the way they are. Like the black mold crawling over the floors and ceilings of the Baker house. The slow erosion of people's beliefs in change and social welfare. In Resident Evil 7, as in 2017, there is something maddening in the air.
What? What? What are you... What?
In the real world, the ooze is neither left nor right. It's the feeling of disappointment, defeat, and being so ignored by the systems that the only thing left to do is to vote to pull them down. For the Bakers, the black mold got in and destroyed their family. For us, it wrenched apart political, but still dearly held establishments. But it's not dehumanizing.
So, you draw a parallel of what happens in the game to your own personal experience, and you compare the political defeats that you had in the past couple of days as people being consumed by the black mold. What? I don't understand.
It may be blue now, but soon it will be redder than Republican Texas.
Thus, perhaps even more so than the original, Resident Evil 7 feels like a game for our time. Intangible forces have ripped apart a long-standing establishment, both in the form of the Baker family's 19th century wooden house and the family itself. The same forces threaten to spread and encapsulate further, but to broadly dehumanize people already taken, to consider them monstrous, distant, and not at all people, is to do the disfiguring work of the mold for it.
The parallel is too much on this one. Guys, I don't even know. I don't know what to say. This guy draws parallels off of thin air.
If they don't have sukiyaki, then our theory is as bogus as Scientology.
At times such as this, when empathy, union, and any sense of social responsibility are imperiled, the parallels in Resident Evil 7, wherein people fight against an erotic blackness, are plain to see.
Plain to see. I don't know. What is this article even talking about? This article tries so hard to draw parallels between the current political climate and a simple survival horror game like Resident Evil VII. There's not even a single mention of Trump or Brexit. They just use this black mold as a metaphor. I don't even... I have nothing more to say. I got nothing. This is too much stupid. How about a much better parallel, like how the last Super Bowl was literally an allegory of the presidential election? Bad example, but what do you expect? That's all for the video today. If you like this, you can go ahead and click the like button and subscribe for more. If you wish, you can support me on Patreon. And thanks for watching.